sa matag Domingo nga tanan, gikan sa alas 9 ang na sa buntag paingon sa alas 11 ang na sa kabuntagon sa matag Domingo nga tanan. So karong Domingo ha, adlaw nga Domingo, Agosto 23 na kita, no? Karong tuiga. So August, last week of August na karon, September, October, November, December 4 months to go before Christmas, no? So muraog naghanap putang mga kasadya nga magahimuon dahil pagpasalamat sa labaw na makagagahom alang sa ato ang kinabuhi nga gihatag sa kanunay niya. So dili na to makalimtan sa kanunay sa pagpasalamat sa mga grasya, ingon man sa ato mga problema sa kinabuhi ato kanang ihangad sa ato ang labaw nga makagagahom ug natagan kini og solusyon niya. So, kini si Edwin Politico mo ay regular anchor and host sa kapilan sa Liporo maging kauban ng usap kanina sulod sa lukatan na nga tulumanon. The only public affairs program here in Liporo City, Lapitan City, and the entire province of Zamboanga del Norte. O nagpasalamat kita kay Blessed kaayo ang atong programa tungod kay gawas nga public affairs program alang sa katanan kini wala kitay kolor sa politika nga gilabanan dili sa atong kapihan sa Dipolog, independent kita sa kanunay. We maintain our being balance and independent, fair to all our guests here sa atong kapihan sa Dipolog. Magpasalamat pagid kita kay nagsunod kita kanunay sa Santos nga misa. Ang kapihan sa Dipolog pasalamaton kayo nga gitagaan kita islat pumantoy sa Santos nga misa nagsunod kita para usab nga malamdagan kita sa atong mga una-una nga magdiskusyon diri sa ato ang kapihan sa Dipolog matag Domingo nga tanan. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in Dipolog City. O manghinaw kita nga kanunay nga maayo ang kahimtang sa atong panglawas sa tanan nato mga kaigsurunan nga mga kaparentihan, mga kahigalaan nga ania sa ato ang kapakayan sa Dipolog, sa Tibok Ilocos, Subugan del Norte o sa uban pang parte sa Tibok Nasod sa Pilipinas o ingon man sa gawas sa nasod all over the world. Atong live streaming, connection nato sa atong live streaming pinaagi sa atong IT director nga si Silbert Adriatico Duduyano. Dapat ipanin niyo ng kamera diha aron makita mo duha unsa mo kapugi. Salamat kayo pinaagi sa atong live streaming www.rmnpolo.tv.com na nagbulat nato sa laing parte sa kalibutan sa New York si Maria Rodinling Bubol Ortega, maestra ni siya dito sa New York na taga Dipolog City. Kabards din ako sa Andres Bonifacio College, English editor rin ako sa Bonifacio Standard sa college days, no? Nag-comments din sila doon yung mga pangutana ko niya dapat sa live streaming dayon katong ang ato pong isa ka amiga nga ato apod sa Malta si Tata Marilyn Rubio nga ato pong batchmate sa ABC. Marang musulod ko niya sa live streaming about education. Si Manuel Cagata, nasa Amerika po. Marang musulod niya sa atong live streaming. Mangutana, bahin sa atong quality of education din ni sa atong nasod na Pilipinas. Dayon, sa atong live, sa atong simultaneous broadcast sa DXTR IFM, kauban nato diri si Taxi Lumba, nga mo'y nagdala kanunay sa atong tingog sa kahinan. Salamat kay Tax sa imong magsuporta, kauban ni Silbert, dito sa atong official video. Dito sa atong station, dito si Danny Lord sa kanunay, nga nagsuporta sa nato. Pinaagi sa atong bagong station manager, nga si Mr. Edgar Nagumo. So, atong ipaabot ang atong mga panelists, karong buntaga, nga mutunghan diri sa atong official video. Mag-roll kita, si Julio Salaveria, atong CPA panelist gikan sa Department of Trade and Industry, galit na Jules. Ang ato ang konsihal sa Dakbayan sa Dipolog, mag-iitan na abogado, konsihal Ruben Ligorio, o napamilirina. O iyon man si Paul Suda, ato ang Information Center Manager sa Philippine Information Agency, inaunta nga nag-aginod na ito padulong diri. Murag, kunlim ang ato ang board member nga si board member Ronilio Boylito sa Agusan. Kaya nag-attend daw to ang convention sa mga board members league of the Philippines. Maternity leave. Aba, yun siya anak. O gayon si atong ipaabot diri ang atong mga bisita gikan sa Department of Education i-confirm nato si Ma'am Victorina Perez, ang ato ang, nanak ko na siya, nakamit na ko na siya, kung pa'y mag-text ko niya. Si Ma'am Victorina Perez, ang ato Republic City Schools Division Superintendent, o ingon man ang ato OIC Provincial Schools Division Superintendent nga si Ma'am Nati Bayubay, nga ni-confirm ko sa nga mo ang kayo sa itong kapihan sa Lipolo, o makikinabi ka na ito, pag-isgot-isgot kita, bahin sa edukasyon din sa ito ang halalawigan sa Moga del Norte, Lipolo City, o ingon man Dapitan City. So hold on to your seats at mga listeners, karaputaga, si Ophelia o si John Riganion, ingon man si Magnolia o man silang apo, paminaw ka mo diha pag-ayo, si Joy Risolga, paminaw sa diha, si Helen Amores, o ingon man si Elsa Pipin, Elsa Pepa, paminaw diha sa accounting office pa siya, no? So paminaw ka mo kay mag-isgot kitang edukasyon sa atong mga anak, sa atong mga apo, sa atong papakoy-apo. O ingon man sa atong mga kaparintihan. Kay walang edukasyon, dili po kita makakapot o kinaadman, dili po kita bilapo sa itong kinabuhi. So, bisan pagpupre, maningkamot lang, kung ang sinsuro ni hapon pinagi sa edukasyon, di ba? Sir Matoy, yan ang kadiri ang atong pag-iitan nga panilis-usap nga si former Congressman Attorney Rosilio Matoy Barinaga, Dean sa College of Law, Jose Rizal Memorial State University, Dipolog City Campus, Dapitan City. Before anything else, ay kita upadayon sa unahan na ato patingugon ang ato ang panelist diri nga first come, first serve. Ato lang natin sa ato mga sponsors na may nagdala o kinabuhi sa ato ang kapihan sa Dipolo, matag Domingo nga tanan, matod pa ni Sir Matoy, mamasahiro una kita. Jeepney or motorcam or habal-habal. So, mora na siya. Nagkasalamat na to sa ato ang mga major sponsors na mga amusunod, Janus Marketing, na nabaligya sa mga lagayan na spare parts sa inyong mga sakyanan, sama sa Isuzu, Nissan, Suzuki, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Hyundai, uban pa sa ubos lamang ng presyo. Baka na ang Janus Marketing na ipalagiyahan ni Honorable Janus yung Barangay Kapitan diha sa Barangay Miputa. Layon, Kanhi, ABC President sa Nagbayan sa Lipolo. Matawag sa telephone number 212-148 ang Janus Marketing. Nagagsalamat na ito kang Honorable Senate Alvis Angeles, ang atong Vice Governor o Presiding Officer sa Saguniang Palalawigan sa Zamboanga del Norte. Kung ingon man na ito kang Honorable Julius C. Lapigget, salamat sir sa imong pagsuporta kanunay sa itong kapihan sa Lipolo, Presiding Officer Protein 4 sa Saguniang Palalawigan sa Zamboanga del Norte. Naging-salamat ka ito kang Honorable Romulo P. Soliva, Chairman, Committee on Finance and Appropriation sa Saguniang Palalawigan sa Zamboanga del Norte. Sa J&P Fruit Nursery and Lumber Dealer, sells fruit seedlings at a very reasonable price. Fruit Nursery na ibutang sa Barangay Lingasan, Pulampo, Zamboanga del Norte. Samtang ang ilang lumber yard na ibutang sa Barangay Galas, Ningkabayan sa Dipolo. Ang J&P Fruit Nursery and Lumber Dealer sa Nagiyahan ni Mr. Porfirio Necessary. Maraming salamat nito sa National Green Corporation of the Philippines nga nagkanayon ili maghalin o magdaog sa kalayong adungol o ilawong sa transmission lines para makalikay sa sunog o disgrasya. A message of concern coming from the National Green Corporation of the Philippines, called NGCP, pinaami ni Elizabeth Pinchay Ladaga, Corporate Communications Affairs Officer, NGCP, Cagayan de Oro City. Stay safe. Nagagsalamat na po sa atuang bisita na si OIC Provincial Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Natividad P. Bayubay, CISO 6, Department of Education, Zamboanga del Norte Division. Nagagsalamat na po kang Attorney General Jojo Napikit, City Councilor sa kuliang pagbusog sa Nagbayan sa Lipolo, panglitan usap ng abogado. Daghang salamat na ito ka Mr. Nelson Velasco, ang Provincial Environment and Natural Resources Officer sa Petro sa DNR, Santa Isabel, Lipolo City. At ito ka Mr. Geoffrey Sayas, ang atong Community Environment and Natural Resources Officer sa Concentro sa DNR, Santa Isabel, Lipolo City. Daghang salamat na ito ka Mr. Muhammad San Ancho, Provincial Agrarian Reform Program Officer 2, INDAR, Department of Agrarian Reform, Santa Isabel de Polo City. Nato kang Honorable Ruben B. Ligorio, City Councilor sa Kuliang Panlungsod, Kapuyan sa Polo. O ingon man kang Honorable Emilio Dili, Board Member, Second District sa Bunga del Norte President, Regional Board Members League sa Philippines, panelist sa Kapihan sa Dipolo. Dagang salamat nato kang Milagros Agustin, Chicago, Illinois, USA, kang Roger William at Jennifer King sa Oma County, North Carolina. Good morning, ma'am. How are you today? O ingon man, dagang salamat nato kang Brigadier General Apolinario Aluba, ato ang kami commanding officer sa 11 Infantry Brigade, nato ang nakaroon sa Camp Aguinaldo sa Metro Manila. Siya may vice chairman sa task force, joint task force sa NCR, no? Na may in charge sa security sa ato ang umaabot na APEC, no? Asian Pacific Economic Council. Ito sa Metro Manila, ipahigayon karong tuiga. Kita may host country ang Pilipinas. O ingon man, daghan movement ito sa kong anak, si Lady Areta, ito sa King Fahd Medical City sa Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. God bless you, anak. Stay safe always. O ingon man, dato kang ako ang amiga usap nga tuwa sa nagkurik-kurik naningkamot na papatuloy ng kalibutan, no? Ako ang pinag-usap nga amiga nga tuwa sa Amerika, si Milagros Agustin. So, wala lang ito ang mga pag-greet na rubutaga sa uban pa, na-greet na pag-hapon na ito tuwag rin Ginoo, no? Hindi na ito mag-greet tanan yun. So, ano naman ang ito ang bisita? Ano yan sa batong panelist? We might as well start our discussion. So, sa ato ang first come, first serve na panelist na rubutaga, si former Congressman Atty. Rosario Mato Barinaga, here sa College of Law, sa Memorial State University. Hindi siya politician, but now educator. So, Sir Mato, good morning, and how are you today?
May butang din, dito bisita karon sa Color City Division Superintendent, Miss Pico Perez, o si atong malabot nga resource person, si Provincial Superintendent of Division 2, no? Nati Mayuban, o kuman atong persona na ibutan na
Thank you so much, Sir Matoy. Dayon ni atong bisita, atong magayuhan sa greetings, si Ma'am Vicky Perez, ang ato ang Dipolog City Schools Division Superintendent. Good morning, ma'am. Welcome back to Kapihan sa Dipolog.
Good morning, Edith. Good morning, Dean Matoy. Kinano ko muna. Dami nyo kasi positions mo. Kinano ko muna from hanggang sa yung ngayon. So, sa mga nakikinig, watching, sa streaming, sa YouTube, hello, mga ginikanan, mga estudyante, hi! At yung mga teachers, at saka lahat dito sa DepEd, hello. Lalo na yung mga ginikanan, please listen, ha, mamaya. Meron ako importante sasabihin. Magandang umaga.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Vicky. It's nice of you to be back here in our program. Lively and very educational pa rin.
It's always nice to be around para makikinig.
Okay, mag-inusapay na tayo. Okay, first issue of the day. Dapat tagaan mo sa side. Si Sir Matoy mo articulate. Sir Matoy, go ahead.
Sa akong ginista sa imong Facebook, mani ang about K plus K12. And the incidental to that is how is the implementation, kadawa, according to the critics, na magdugang lang ni o tuligan sa atong mga estudyante, it's only long years. Third, it will spend so much money and effort on the part of the students and parents. Ikaw pa, additional time in school, and 5 is applied to the teachers, no? These are nindot yung mga issue, ha? Pero tingali, mapunto si nato provincial school superintendent, may pinagpapangutanan na po, simultaneous lang yun, ha? So, for the meantime, pwede ko pangutanan nga, about education Japan, at the trend, no? Pangutanan lang sa ni natong city superintendent na can you more or less expound to us, ma'am? The Murag Lake City is always being located by educators in the time of seminar or OBE, outcome-based education. So, aron nga tingali masabtan mo na to. So, what is really meant by outcome-based education? Kay mura manigid, it also connect with Asian integration, global, and transnational, on the practice of teaching. Kayo, Mrs. Orman?
Sa outcome-based education, hindi na kasi pwede yung basta mag-lecture ka, take notes, pagkatapos mamemorya ng bata. Ang evaluation sa outcome-based education, kung natutunan nga talaga nila, titignan kung natutunan talaga yung kanila, yung what is supposedly na ituro sa kanila. So, dito, dapat meron silang, let's say, sa mga performance, yung performance nila, like yung sa PE, sa hindi lang yung nasa notebook, kundi they have to show kung natutunan nila yung mga, yung sa games, they can show that they know the rules ng mga games, o kaya sa arts, meron silang nailabas, o kaya sa English, they are more on speaking and writing and one and not just multiple choice, filling the blanks, wala na yung mga ganon. So more dito sa mga projects na hindi naman kailangan gagastos, kundi maipapakita lang yung kanilang natutunan. Okay? So, ganun lang sa outcome-based. Para, meron mga sinasabi na, perfect niya yung, yung test, pero can they really do it sa application? Yun ang question.
Okay. Ating may palagaling, Tatay Live from Touch, all the way from New York, teacher sa New York, from Ipolog City, si Maria Lolinding, Bupol Ortiga, ako ni English editor sa Past Standard during our college days. Nasa question ni mo, ma'am?
Yes, of course.
Bukod, ang imong question nga to sa atong bisita karon nga si Ma'am Vicky Perez, ang atong Ipolog City Schools Division Superintendent. Go ahead, Bud. Go ahead. Hello, Bud. Hello? 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 Bobot, hello?
Ay, nawala.
Nawala. Ato, balikan na karoon mo kontak. Sige, sir.
Sa dili pa daw, this comment. Wala yung ibang concrete nga. The slowest internet ka sa Asia, no? Pero 3 points lang to. Ang Laos, Vietnam, very, very high, no? So, kaya may tanda ko. Morning nga, kung may puntang atong internet connection, pagkuha din nato ang Sunday Suki sa atong kaibigan ito ng New York, no? Yung ma'am.
Yun ang mag-comment ako dyan sa internet. Yun na nga, problema pa natin. We have the most expensive and the slowest. Ang kasi nito, ang problema kasi dito, I've been reading on this issue, is the lows.
Okay, Bob, go ahead, Bob. Good morning, Bob. Your question, please. Direct from New York, si Maria Lolinding Ortega.
Philippine government implement this sa atong educational system nga murag 4 baby kay ta already. So, Kalimutan na lang ko ni Dr.
Perez.
No, hindi ko.
Hello.
Sorry. Dr. Perez, hindi ko ako kailangan magtungugin niya. Ni Dr. Perez, ma'am,
Yes.
in terms of teacher preparedness for the K-12 program implementation, how would you evaluate the teachers sa ilang instruction and resources?
As for the K-12, actually, matagal na itong, this has been implemented na yung from the basic education curriculum na 10 years to K-12. It has been implemented since 4 years ago. The teachers will be trained every summer. They have training every summer. So it started with the grade 1 and then the grade 7 in high school. And then the grade 2 on the next summer, the grade 2 and the grade 8. Then the next summer is the grade 3 and the grade 9. And last summer it was the grade 4 and the grade 10. So, including all the curriculum materials, the changes. So, this has gradually been implemented. Hindi yung biglaan na biglang nag-change ng K-12. Kasi if you face off yung dating nag-face off muna yung dating curriculum bago pinasok yung K-12. So next year will be the implementation of the new curriculum on grade 5 and grade 11. So in teacher preparedness, I would say the government has been doing what it can, of course, but we cannot say that it's really 100% because, you know, when we have to start with people and materials where we are starting from, marami din naman talagang kakulangan noon pa man. Pero yun na nga, the government has been trying, and at least successfully kasi malaki na yung kanilang na-overcome na gap, to really put K-12 in place. So for the Dipolog also, we have been doing a lot of planning. And in fact, hindi naman sa nagbubuhat ng sariling bangko, pero ang Dipolog medyo nauuna sa iba.
Congratulations.
So we have been preparing. In answer to your question, yes, we are preparing. We cannot say we are 100% prepared, but the option, on the other hand, not having the K-12 and remaining for the 10 basic education, puts us really into, tayo talagang nahuhuli. Because putting K-12 into place, we are putting in a curriculum that is really needed for the 21st century. Hindi na yung dati na yung sa ARBEC. At saka yung requirements din kasi ng international mga anong tawag mo doon, agreements between nations. You have the Washington Accord, you have all other accords na ang nire-require nila for to be able to be called to a professional, you must have at least 12 years of basic education. And 4 years ago, until now, ang basic education, until last year, basic education until na 10 years, hindi acceptable. We are only, among the other nations in the world, only Philippines, Ethiopia, and Djibouti have a 10-year or less than 12 years basic education. Nahuhuli na tayo, kailangan na talagang magbago.
Okay. Well, nakuha daw din mo, Bod? Okay. Do you have other questions from Ma'am Perez?
Nag-mention siya na it's not 100%. So, sa iyong evaluation, what are some of the deficits or deficit areas in its implementation, and how is the government addressing these deficits?
Okay, one of the deficits, of course, is the what you call the infrastructure, buildings, facilities, but the problem here is that the planning cycle actually takes 2 years. The planning and the budgeting cycle, you plan now for the 2 years hence because it's going to be with the data that you have now will be used as planning for the next year and planning for the budget of the next year. So the government has been trying to speed that up. One of the problems in infrastructure is that it's being done by DPWH. And there has been a little, say, slowdown. But they are already accelerating now because, yeah, we've been... Actually now, we just met with the contractors last week. That was last Thursday. We met the contractors who will be coming, will be building the school buildings for the grade 11 next year. And we had an agreement that before summer it will be done.
Okay. Good. Nakakuha ka, nakasabot ka sa iyang explanation. Okay. Other issues before we proceed. Okay, good? Okay, other questions? Hello?
Hello there.
Okay na. Hello, good.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ferrer. Dagang pa kong questions, but just give the other people a chance to ask about it.
I see. You can friend me in Facebook.
Okay, sa'yo daw.
Teka, hindi ko yata pwede on air. Baka sa'yo, baka maraming mag-aano sa akin sa Facebook eh. Baka papasok na yung mga hackers and all.
Good. Ako yata din mo later ha. Welcome mo sa Facebook ni Ma'am Vicky ha. Kayo, you are both educators. Okay? Hello, good.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. See you po. Ulit ka rin si Polo. God bless.
Sige. Nakulit ko sa Facebook ng question.
Okay.
Good morning.
Yes. Thank you. God bless. God bless. Bye-bye. So, baka to si Maria Lumingming? Yes. Okay. Si Maria Lumingming Bubod Ortega, no? Diha to, AB English to sa Andres Bonifacio College nga ni-graduate, no? Friendship to na. Yes, in New York City. She's a teacher in New York City. Yes, Sir Matoy.
So to part is true.
Yes.
That's really true because we are better when it comes to grammar, you know, things like that, than an ordinary Americans, no?
Yes. Wala pa kayo teacher ka to. Teachers na sa Amerika. How much more okay to 12 na siguro, no? Limitation.
You can teach in America even hindi ka pa K-12 because that is an agreement between the governments that they allow. But for engineers, you cannot be, if you're a graduate of engineering here, you cannot be an engineer in the US because precisely because your basic education is only 10 years. Lacking at basic education.
Excepting Christianity teaching profession. If there are other professions, you cannot practice your profession in other countries unless there is a treaty to that effect, no?
Yes.
No.
Or if your basic education is 12 years.
Yeah, but that you need working permit. I mean, that is a discretion on the part of the receiving states, no? However, the trend is they're going global, they're going into transnational, and then with the Asian integration. In fact, I was about to ask you that, but medyo malayo punta yun sa subject natin, no? I think what is very important that our public would like to hear is one, we've got to the implementation, no? Because that was being asked by the radio na. Probably, when it comes to teachers, because 4 years ago, you have already been training, well and good. Meaning that our teachers are now seasoned to teach, not in the K-12. However, as far as the facilities is concerned, for instance, on the ground, the critic says that we really lack school buildings. We lack 2 years. Just on the ground. May we know, in Zamboanga del Norte National High School, both campuses in Torno as well as in Saka, do we have a single building that has
yes, we have a 2 two units of 2-story 6-classroom building that they will be starting to build.
Started.
Yes.
Starting it.
And then there will be another 10-classroom,
Yeah.
2-story building, and there is a 2-story, all the high schools are going to have their buildings for the grade 11.
What the public really wants to know, whether it is now starting, but it has to be implemented. Because otherwise, the national government can say you one thing, and then they will forget about it. Let's face it, what the parents and the public would like to know, whether when are they going to start? Because that will be next year. They are going to
Yes. In fact, we also have a 2.6 million.
Oh, yeah. And it takes, if you have to go into the actual schedule of building.
Yes, we do have the schedule, yes.
So, anyway, we'll take your call for it. That will be ready as far as the school building is concerned.
I would like to say, I would like to relate this, that 3 weeks ago, I had a sudden call up from Yusek Rivera. He wanted to see me about the preparation of the polo for K-12. He wanted to know certain things, so I got the data, and then he asked, actually when we were planning for the polo, the public school only planned for 60% of the public school graduates. Only 60%. 40%, we did not plan for that because the absorptive capacity of the private schools, okay, ay malaki. In other words, when we asked, because we've always been talking with the private schools, we keep on meeting with them. Because those who cannot be absorbed in the public school can be absorbed in the private school. That is where the voucher system comes in.
Yes, ma'am. That's called.
Yes.
So, high school is supposed to be free.
Yes.
Okay. If you go to the private, you have to pay.
And the government will pay the school. There's the voucher system.
What is the sense? When the high school is supposed to be free, no?
Oh, yes, it will be.
You are going to subsidize in the private sector.
Precisely, it's going to be free because they're going to subsidize those are going to enroll in private schools will be subsidized by the government.
It may create a problem, you know what? Because I'm a student. It is perceived, no? The concept lang, that private school is better than public school.
Yes.
That's always the
Yes.
If I am a student, I will go to the private school.
Yes.
Everybody will search into the private school.
Yeah.
Then how do you select? I mean, it will be creating a sort of a problem. No?
No, but that is precisely we have been trying to predict what could happen. That's why we are always meeting. In fact, it will not be so much because in public school we cannot deny anyone who would like to come in. Okay? Those who are graduates of the 10-year basic education and did not go to college can enroll again for their grade 11. Okay? So, but they cannot avail of the voucher system, so more likely they are going to be in the private school. Now, those are going to enroll in the private school, the voucher system, the government will pay their school 70,500 for the entire year. 17,500.
70,500 for 4 years?
No, for every year that they are enrolled.
Or for one student?
Yes.
No, in public school, ma'am, how much do you spend for a student?
Actually, for the student, they are free, they don't have to pay.
Yes.
For the public.
In private, you have to pay 70,000. Man, that's 70,000.
17,000 per year for the Polog City. Because in the different areas in the country, like you have highly urbanized areas, they give higher vouchers, like in Metro Manila, that would be something like 45 or something. In the provinces, it will be less. For the Polog City, because they came out with this matrix, they were trying to, of course it's based on data, the economics and all that. But yeah, we have been talking with the private school, and the MC has spread their tuition and other fees to 17,500 pesos for the entire year.
Yeah, but the point is, if you're in public school, a student does not receive at 17,000. So there seems to be discrimination.
No.
You cannot accommodate them in the private.
The
Because
student will not receive the money. It's the school.
Yeah, but it's being paid. Why don't you pay also, give 17,000 to the public school and then improve the facilities, buy computer, you can improve it.
Oh, you
rather
can
than
do that.
buy books, and then rather than the public school will always be behind.
No, well, we are, you see, because the transition is 5 years. Okay? So this is only for the first year of transition. Okay? Every year, we are going to look at the data and we're going to change that. Eventually, after the 5 years, all of them will be, in the 5 years, it's planned that all of them will already be, those in the public school will continue in the public school. Why did we consider the private school? Because this is also economical reason. They will not have enrollment of first-year college. The grade 10 this year are going to grade 11. They will not have enrollment of first year. Except perhaps those who have failed in their first year this year, or those who have taken 10 years and then decided to go to college instead to grade 11. They can still do that. But the grade 10 graduates this year are going to grade 11. Therefore, the private colleges will not have an enrollment for the first year. So what happens now? What happens to their teachers? What happens to their facilities? What happens to their income? The facilities is there. We might as well use it. That's why we have the voucher system. Their teachers are there. We might as well use it. Their facilities, it's there. And then, in fact, from our data, the private schools, including JRMSU, Dipolo, has the total enrollment for first-year college is 5,000. 5,000. They're going to use it. So the impact is economic. So that their facilities will be used and the impact will not be so much. That's why we're using them. But in the 5 years, the facilities, the ground, it will be there. It's being planned for. And we are doing the best we can. Of course, economics is always a problem, but we will have to we are very glad that the government is actually putting in a lot of money. It's only in the recent years that they put a lot of money in the budget for DepEd. And I am very grateful for that. We can see that now.
So how about the government to spend so much for education because of the unpreparedness by the higher ups in implementing something which they are not yet prepared, so they have to pay for it.
Oh, of course. And besides, we are really having to spend a lot on education because in terms of percentage in the national budget, in the prior years, they weren't so much. They're now making up for it. And then they're putting in more. Okay? We don't even have a 2.6, it's now in the works. It's a 2.6 million building, tech rock building for the Zamboanga del Norte National High School.
Okay. Before we proceed, ito na ang acknowledge sa pagyabot diri sa ato ang panelist nga si Edgar Soronda. Good morning, God.
Salamat dito. Good morning. Good morning sa Tomaso Bibi Paminaw, sa Kapiyan sa Dipolo. Good morning sa atong guest, si Ma'am Becky. Atong Deputy Superintendent sa Kapiyan sa Dipolo. Pahugyan sa akong pagpagpiganan sa laing pa nato na bisita sa itong Kapiyan sa Dipolo na formally will be introduced to you by ladies later on. Dito sa itong Kapiyan sa Dipolo. Anto kita sa las 11 ang nagkaroon na buntaga. Live yan kita rin sa San Carlos by Chicken. So stay on sa 981 DXBI 91.1 FM, www.rmn.libre.com sa atong live streaming. O siyempre, ang atong duha ka mga haligi sa Division Office sa City o sa Province sa iya karon ko nato dili sa atong panagtuman sa kapihan sa Dipolog. So atong ibalik ang nakalirik para ma-introduce sa performer yung atong pag-unidad sa July dinapit sa atong panagtuman sa mga kapihan sa Dipolog.
Thank you so much, Edgar. Atong pasalamat na ani-ani abot ko sa diri ang atong full-page na Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, no? Congratulations, Ma'am Napi. Pero at the same time, siyempre OIC Provincial Schools Division Superintendent, dili sa ato ang Zamboanga del Norte. Nalimot ko, belated happy birthday kang Sir Matoy. O, sa congratulations. Nasakpan na din siya. Okay, Ma'am Napi, good morning and welcome back to Kapihan sa Dipolog.
Thank you, Ma'am Edith. Sir, good morning everyone. Good morning po. Thank you for having me here today.
Okay, thank you so much. Earlier we had a phone match live from New York City. An educator, a teacher also from Dipolog City who is following our Kapihan sa Dipolog. She said that the teachers and the government are ill-prepared for the K-12 implementation. Your comments, please, Ma'am Napi, as the OIC Provincial Schools Division Superintendent. Tapos na si Ma'am Vicky.
Good morning. I would like to wish is Shia, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like
Si
to...
Maria Luligning Bubod Ortiga.
Okay. Hello, Ma'am Maria. I'd like to assure you that Zamboanga del Norte Division is ready for the senior high school program. At this time, we have, where would I start? This is a law already. It's RA 10533. So it would mean that all government resources would be poured in to support this one in as much as that it is established as such. For Zamboanga del Norte Division, for the facility, we have for the buildings that we would be needing, we have 676,853 pesos and 31 centavos for the building senior high school classrooms for our 29 schools will be providing for the senior high school programs. Each building would have at least 6 classrooms, one building 2-story, 6 classrooms. We have 3 who would be given 8 classrooms. So, yun po ang unang, as to readiness, we hope that the facilities would be then ready by next year. Ongoing po ang bidding ng iba for City 1 and 2, tapos na po. Etong dito sa first district lang po ang ongoing pa po yung kanilang bidding. To the teacher need of these schools, initially we have asked school heads to identify among the teachers existing in their respective schools kung sino ang pwedeng magturo sa senior high school. Kasi ang basic requirement naman po niya is they have a specialization on subjects that they would want to teach on. And then we have also asked local governments to provide us a list of those employees in their area na pwedeng magturo sa senior high school. Ang assessment of applicants would start, initially the schedule is this August, but we're still waiting for the QS for this and the memo from the central office as to how we go through the assessment of teacher applicants. Kung sa province din po, we have 15 private schools, mostly mga colleges, who were recommended for approval of their permit to offer the senior high school. Some po this time ang may permit, 5 ang ongoing pa ang kanilang validation. So, ang facilities din itong mga existing colleges in as much as wala silang offering of
wala silang classes. Mga first year entrant by 2016, ang facilities nila will be used for the senior high school kasi may permit naman po sila to walk away. Ano pa ba ang problema sa... No, it does not, ang akin naman, this is, there will be, this additional 2 years wouldn't mean so much na it wouldn't require so much funding from the parent kasi ito naman po ay libre. Ang kailangan lang po nila to sustain them in going to school, like they buy their mga gamit nila papuntang eskwelahan, pero mag-senior high school man sila o hindi, gagastusan pa din sila ng parent nila. So, paano po naging additional expense? Public school po to, they wouldn't be required to pay any in the school, in their enrollment to senior high school.
Except yung miscellaneous fees na marami ang ipadala, sa pabili ng mga teachers concerned, ma'am.
Yes, nag-uusap kami tungkol doon and we do ask them to consider that. But DMC said it's all in 17,500. So, what's the problem? Although the other schools we're still talking to them, but DCIP also brought down their tuition to 17,500 so far. That's last week, that's the development. And the others are still considering it because ang sabi naman namin sa kanila is ganito, huwag naman nilang isipin na ito ay college, high school. Consider ang kanilang tuition ng high school, pwede lang medyo mas mataas sa high school po nila, sa kanilang high school tuition. Huwag naman pareho sa college. At ang isa pa, mag-isip na lang sila na kung siyempre gusto nilang kumita, pero yung kitang pagtulad ng inject, hindi naman kailangan malaki agad yung kita. Okay lang nakaunti-unti, pero marami. Yung parang gano'n. So yun ang kwa namin. But they're listening. And I'm very grateful to them. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yes, Sir Marco.
From the point of view, parents, you should also see the problem. We say 17,000 a year for a high school. Other colleges, like for instance, JRMSU, the College of Law, it's only about 3,000 a semester. You multiply that by 2, it's already 16. See? Now, that is for a college, for a law student. And yet, here comes, for a high school, 17. What I cannot understand, which I think all the rest do not, is that why don't we give the 17,000 to the public school? Improve everything. No? You know, public school is really suffering from what? IT, facilities, and really books, things like that. No? The national government, I don't blame you, no, because we only take command from that. They should have thought of this long time ago, that it will cost so much. I'm not prejudiced against private schools. No, that's not part of it. The only problem that we make so I am basic plan. And then we say free, okay, because the government pays 17. 2 years. The parents have to buy shoes, chinelas, clothing, uniform, notebook, because they are set up free. In the other countries, when you say free, it's all given. Transportation, you have a school bus. No? So, what we are thinking when we say free is only the tuition fee. That's the tuition fee. We can consider, for 2 years, for 4 years,
Pwede ako muna sasagot. Actually, sa 17,500, that's only the private school here in Dipolo. I do not know about in the other places in Zamboanga del Norte, but in Dipolo, that's 17,500 private schools. But if you are graduate of a private school and you go to a private school, they will give you only 80% of that. The voucher is only 80% of that. The assumption, nag-high school ka rin naman, nag-junior high school ka ng private, kaya mo. Now, for state colleges and universities, that will be only 50%. Because in state colleges and universities, they already subsidized, gobyerno na yan. Kaya may estudyante, kaya wala, may sweldo ang mga teachers. Ang mga professors may sweldo. So, wala talagang kanya. That has been thought of. Now, yung mga parents naman, sabihin natin dalawang dagdag na pana, uniform, etc. Nasabi nga ni Con kanina na, siyempre, babaon, etc. Now, what happens? Only 50% ang actually ng mga graduate natin ng high school, up to 60%, ay nakakarating ng college. Isipin natin yung 40%. Pag hindi sila nag-college, anong pupuntahan nila? Hindi naman sila kapagtrabaho. Illegal pa yan, they're young. Ang parents, gagastusin sila pakakainin, hihingi pa yan ang load, magliligaw pa yan kasi naka-standby, maano pa yan sa drugs, mabuti nang nasa eskwelahan sila. Kahit may gastusin na, pareho din pakakainin, magkukwan, etc., uniform. But then, I mean, they will be, kaysa naka-standby sila, lahat na yan. At after the grade 12, they will also have skills na pwede na sila magtrabaho ng legal. May skills na sila na pwede na silang makapag-put up ng sa kahit business nila, mga small business, micro business. Eh, hindi mo yan makuha sa grade 10. Wala pa yan. Makukuha mo yung mga skills na yon sa grades 11 and 12. So, actually, nung nakakausap namin yung mga magulang, the other Saturday, it was PTA, I was talking to the parents, we were talking about this. We already gave them the ito na yung mga structure ng mga kwan. Ang daming mga parents nung nakita nila yung tuition, ay, doon na lang namin para yung mga anak namin. Ayun naman, gusto nila mag-private naman for a while. So, marami talaga ang gusto. Yun ang kwan ko. Mga parents, when we talk to the parents, they are actually all for it na.
Okay, Mama, please.
Additional 2 years na gastos ng parents. Opo. Ang akin naman po, sabi ko earlier, mag-high school man sila, gagastos ang parents. Mag-senior high o hindi, gagastos pa din sila. Yung additional uniform nila, in public school, you don't require uniform. So, wag mo nilang sabihin may additional expense sila for uniform. We do not require uniform. And then, sa paggastos nila sa public school, this is a public school, so wala po talaga silang gagastusin na miscellaneous or whatever. Schools would be given MOE na gagastusin nila for the running of those schools. So, I don't see any problem really na sasabihin po ni Sir na may additional expense ng parent.
Okay, yes, Sir Marcos.
When you go to public schools, they're always in uniform. They're always in uniform. Public schools, Nagoto Katipunan, high schools, elementary, they're in uniform. I mean, you don't have to spend to be uniform. Now, while it is true that it is not being mandated, it's not compulsory, and yet, they're really clothing in uniform. Right in Polo, I got to National High Schools, in Polanco, you can always detect, these are people because they're always in uniform. When it may be true that text is not mandating them or it's compulsory, so they have to still to spend.
And then,
Ako muna kasi sa mga doon ako sila. Hindi ko yan sa mga we really don't require that one. Kaya lang, sabi, ang mga parents din naman ang gusto kasi mag-uniforme. In the first place, mas mura. Pangalawa, oo nga kasi lalo ng mga kabataan ngayon, palagi na lang gusto nila yung mga bongga-bongga, yung kanilang mga di mas magastos yun. Kung naka-uniforme sila, from the beginning of the school year to the end, yun na. wala na masyadong change. So actually, yun ang sabi na namin na we do not require uniforms. Ang mga parents ang gusto kasi mas mura para sa kanila.
Yes, Ma'am Nati. Ma'am Nati, sir.
Sige. Same is true in San Juan del Norte. We do not require uniform, but option po ng parent yon na gusto nila mag-uniform daw ang kanilang mga anak kasi cheaper man po talaga na may uniform. Kasya yan lang yung magkano lang man yung t-shirt and 2 sets of uniform would sustain our it would clock the child for the whole year. Mas mura po yun kaysa yung everyday na nagpapalit-palit sila ng damit. At it would also neutralize the class na ito ba yung mas mayaman was ganun-ganun.
Okay, Sir Manto.
I might be suffering from generational gap. But I'm always observing. Clothes now are getting cheaper. You go to Okay. These are good brand. These are good branded. And then you can buy jeans, very cheap. You can buy t-shirt, Roxy pa yung gano'n. These are branded, it's still cheap. And then you can see, even they will be dressed now, it's very cheap. So, parang as uniform, I would say that uniform ultimately will be rare than what you are going to ordinary uses. But anyway, I go for uniform. Why? Because the students or the pupils have to be identified. Regular kotse sila, madali, diba? And then there will be more respect, and if the transportation business is really giving them a discount, automatic. I go for uniform, no problem. I was only thinking on how you should have experience like that, but I really go for your program, no doubt about that.
Okay. Kung paano can Edgar, please?
Okay, thank you very much. This thing lasts only for 2 years, definitely. After 2 years, this thing of utilizing private facilities and instructors will only last for 2 years. This is a lasting system.
As long as some institution would be interested to offer senior high school, ongoing pa po yan yung kanilang validation kung kaya po nila mag-offer.
So, in the part of the government, will there be an upgrading all the qualifications?
Yeah, basically po, ang changes man po happens, it's a constant thing. So, most probably, we look forward to some changes as well, and additional requirements.
I would like to add in teacher qualification. Actually, yung mga hindi tapos ng education, they will have 5 years to get the level. The requirement to teach in grade 11 and grade 12 is that they have at least 15 units of, in the course that they're going to teach, at least 15 units. So yung mga nagka-graduate ng accounting, 15 units ng bookkeeping yan, pwede nang magturo. At saka ang pasok din naman, pinag-uusapan ngayon sa Manila, na ang pagpasok ng teacher sa senior high school ay hindi teacher 1 level, kundi teacher 2. Pero pinag-uusapan pa po yan. So yun din, actually, malaki ho in terms of employment. Because we're going to need more than 30,000 teachers nationwide. So yung mga natapos ng LLB na hindi pa nakapasa ng board, pwede din magturo ng ibang mga class sa humanities and social sciences. Yung mga ganun po.
Okay. Live streaming po. Mapiki, live streaming man ta. Si Bubod, balik siya, pinagi siyang question, no? Ka-educator man po, so na siya live streaming. Yan na lang i-kuha, no? Sa through messenger message. K-12 program currently has 6 salient features. Which of these features wasn't covered by the previous program? Meaning, the grade 1 to 6 elementary and 4 years in high school. And those objectives, features like building proficiency through language, making the curriculum relevant to learners, etc., be not met without adding more years. Okay. So, who will answer the question? Si Ma'am Vicky and then Ma'am Nati.
Sige. Kung ano hindi ko masagot, Hindi ko makalimutan ko, pag-piliin na lang. Okay. One of the silent features is, it's not in terms of language. We are in the elementary education in the first 3 years. Pumasok na yung MPD, mother tongue based, okay, education. So yung mother tongue, kung ano ang alam ng bata, kasi ang hirap naman napapasok sila sa elementary tapos iba yung language. Hindi nagkakaintindihan, nagkakaproblema. So mother tongue, tapos ang transition with the grade 3, grade 4 hanggang sa sa high school. Sa intermediate, yun na ang Filipino-English na mga medium of instruction. Pero, ang transition doon sa baba, kung anong language ng bata, yun ang gagamitin sa pagtuturo. That's one very good. Hindi naman kailangan, ang sa additional 2 years is that even if they finish, if they do not go on to college, they will already be they can already be legally employed, they can already legally put up their own business, okay? And they are more prepared for college. That's what the next 2 years, grade 11 and grade 12, can offer for them.
Okay, Ma'am.
Sa senior high school, kaya nga po, ang tawag doon? Parang ang subjects sa first year and second year college na
Yung core subjects.
Oo. Basic subjects, lahat ng basic like language, this, Filipino, this, science, this, math, this. Ano sila? Wala na sa college kasi dapat specialized na yung i-offer nila. Ito yung mga napunta na sa senior high school. So yung English 1, Filipino 1, and other subjects under liberal arts, pupunta na po sa senior high school. Kaya nga po makakamulan sa mga parents kasi hindi mo na yun babayaran sa college. Na-offer na pong libre sa senior high school. So that's a deduction from the expenses that parents would be paying for when these students would be going to college. Lahat po ng basic subjects covered sa liberal arts courses nila nasa senior high school.
And if I might interject, the Ed and the CHED have been actually in constant communication because CHED is now going to change also the curriculum of the college. Para yung mga na-offer na sa senior high school, hindi na ma-offer sa college. So mas fun sila. And they're even thinking that they might have shorter college years already. Kasi nakuha na sa senior high school yung iba.
Okay. Sir Matoy, last question, no? Sa itong live streaming. Kung masahon lang ha, hindi ka ni Maria Luningning Ortega. Is there any possibility that teacher preparedness can be improved by having teachers get their teaching licenses by grade? Just like here in the US, for example, K to 6 teachers, 7 to 9 and 10 to 12 will take a different licensure exams. Okay, your thoughts on the matter, Ma'am Nati?
Here in the Philippines, galingan po din siya dito, no? Ganun din naman, iba yung lisensya ng elementary, iba din ang requirement ng kindergarten, although parehong lisensya yan, but they have a requirement na may early ECE sila. So with the high school, iba ang requirement ng lisensya nila. So, ganun din po. We are trying to move towards that. So, siguro very possible na in the coming years, different licensure would be issued to those who will be teaching in the senior high school, like what they do in the US, as she is saying.
Okay, Ma'am Nati, additional? Ma'am Vicky, additional?
Nasabi na natin.
Okay, so I hope na Bubod, nag-live streaming ka, that answers your questions. Okay. Sir Matoy, please.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, no? When you reach the senior, meaning the 11 and 12, no? 11 and 12, sa high school, in high school, senior high school, there are 2 tiers, no? One is that who would go to vocational. Diba? No? Yung isa is going to academic. No? Would like to pursue through college. No? Meaning, as what Nadia said, that one field where you will be prepared to go to college, when you learn the college, it will only take you 2 years and not, no longer 4 years. Because in high school, these are already offered, no? Yung mga sciences, gano'n. So you learn to take that. So when you enroll in college, if you are the product of the K to 12, 2 years and not. But those, the other one is you go to vocational, right? So you are prepared to go into the labor force. That is the concept. Okay? And Vicky said that the CHED and the DepEd has always been coordinating or quarreling.
Okay, Ma'am Nancy, about senior high school, yung tracks.
Yung tracks po nila, how many tracks do we have? We have 4 tracks. Applied tracks subjects. Academic, sports, arts and science, and technical vocational livelihood. So, and how many? We have. We have the academic subjects. Academics, we have the tech walk, we have the sports, we have arts and design. Yes. Under academics, you have we have the STEM. Yes. STEM, science, technology, and engineering and math. So, mas maganda nga dito sa high school na iba-iba na nun. Kung gusto nilang makapagtrabaho kaagad kasi hindi agad nila pwedeng pumunta sa college, doon sila sa either yung tech walk na. Because there will be, by the time they graduate, they would have already the NC, National Competency Certificate, na pwede na silang magtrabaho, NC2, NC1. So, ganun lang parang yung sa test na rin yun. Tapos, kung mag-take sila ng STEM, kaya nga, we are very, inaano po mo masyado yung career guidance, na pati yung mga parents, kina-career guidance na namin, para mapag-isip ng bata kung ano ang kanilang track na papasok. Kung magka-college sila, yun na rin ang tuloy-tuloy. Okay? So, kung gusto na mag-engineering, ay pasok ako ng STEM kasi gusto ko dito mag-engineer ako. So, at least makasa na sa science, math, at saka yung ano doon. Yung mga concepts doon, madali na lang sa kanila pagdating sa college. Hindi yung magka-college sila na wala silang kuhan, tapos nag-graduate ng magna cum laude kasi 9 years sa college, mas malaking gastos. So, with the senior high school, more or less nakakapan sila kung ano ang track na ano, because we're strengthening also career guidance.
Okay, additional information from Ma'am natin.
Okay, so, sakali po, si Sir Matoy po, babalik siya sa eskwelahan, pwede po siya mag-enroll sa STEM, sa HAMS, ABM, and General Academic course. So, ang mga bata talaga, from early on, alam na nila kung saan sila pupunta. Sabi nga ni Ma'am, meron silang ginagawang career guidance counseling. Meron din po kami yan. The NI result would also help the child determine kung saan siya nalilinya. So, mas maliwanag po sa bata kung saan sila inclined para hindi nga po sila maging stakeholder ba? Dapat? Stockholder. Sa college ko ni Sir Matoy. So, in a very short time, pwede na silang they can be now participating in the economy of their place. Kaysa yung nag-aaral pa sila ng ganun katagal. Yun din naman ang gusto kong sana ma-appreciate ng parent ito. Kasi nakaka-lesson talaga sa paggasto nila dun sa anak nila eh. Diba lagi silang nag-shift, laging change of course, ganun. Eh syempre, nadodoble ang paggasto ng parent. Habang when they would go through senior high school, they are exposed to the basic of the different courses that they can have. Doon na nila makikita kung talagang doon, para na sila doon. And then, kung kinakailangan na nilang magtrabaho habang sila'y nag-aaral, in as much as they would be earning national certification, they can now be engaged na nagtatrabaho habang sila'y nag-aaral. Yun din naman ang maganda dito sa senior high school. Hindi na sila gagastos na mag-enroll sa TESDA or anything so that they can get national certification for a certain area. Samantalang they can have it in the senior high school at libre pa po ito.
Okay. Yes, Edgar, and then Sir Macton.
Okay, naman dito po sa aspect ng pagtatrabaho, there will be certified as NC1 or NC2. Is there also a constant dialogue between Dolly? Because we have heard na Dolly is also very concerned about this. Because there will be more to be employed and there's still a problem of unemployment in the Philippines.
Kasi nga po, yung sa offering ng local offering ng isang area sa senior high school, coordinated siya sa DOLE kung ano yung mga possible na yung employability of their graduates in their locality or even within the whole province, ganun po siya. Ano yan, regular ang coordination ng DepEd with DOLE, TESDA, ano pa ba? Sino pa ba? CHED. This is a national program, hindi lang po siya DepEd. It is a community thing. Apa. It's a convergence of all stakeholders.
Ay, parulan na po, no, nga ang kanang National Entrance College Examination, is it going on, or mga INSAT, wala na?
Depende po yun sa college.
Depende sa college.
Opo, hindi po namin saklaw yan. Opo. May admission policy po sila. Kung magpa-exam sila, bago sila mag-qualify for a course, that would be up to the college.
Eh, napasok din lang naman ang PAM, although this would be a detour, kasi naano ko rin, yung mga colleges, pagdating sa education, meron yung mga entrance requirements dapat. Hindi yung dati na lang mag-education ka na lang kasi hindi ka naman pwede, hindi ka naman pwede. Pero yung mga parents na, huwag ka naman gawin. Kawawa yung mga bata.
Kung hindi nakapasa sa college examination for a particular course in that particular college or university, tapos sasabihin, o sige, hindi ka nakapasa ng nursing or ng engineering or ng sa education ka na lang. O parang lang ba? Lang. Ang
yun na nga.
education is the mother of all professions. Tapos lang ang education.
Kaya po pala, may mga applicant kami na 1990s graduate. Hanggang ngayon, applicant pa din ang teachers. Kasi yun siguro yung hindi na sila makapasal sa ibang pinagkuha na ng education. Tapos nahihirapan pa din makapasok sa education. Kasi hindi naman po that easy ang qualification to teach. Ako.
Lalo na pag pinapademo sila. Nako, yun. Pero ang ko naman namin, madali namang makapasa yung mga second courser, third courser. Ang problema lang nila kulang sila sa sa strategy. Kulang sila sa strategy. Kaya nga ngayon, marami ng mga ibang kurso ang kinuha, pero dahil wala makuha ng trabaho, sige, mag-teacher na lang. Ngayon, with senior high school, pwede.
So, hindi pinamaliit ang teachers, ha? Hindi pinamaliit. Sir Matoy.
We have encountered this problem with students because there are students who are asking too much from their parents because they said they like to buy a book which is very expensive and that is Facebook. But anyway, talking still about high school, no? You know, when you apply the K-12, there are students who probably went to school later, no? So they will graduate at the age of 20 instead of 16 or 18. Then I know that the ALS, that by November we are going to conduct an examination that for those who will graduate, they will accelerate. That is, sa atong mga kaigsunan nga namakit, katong na mga estudyante nga medyo kidala na pagsunod sa klase, pag graduate sila mga 20, no? Umayungo nga ma-accelerated sila. Ang ALS is given a program, they will pass by November, they will be accelerated. Is that correct?
Yes. Merong mga gano'n na mga medyo may katandaan na dahil tumigil sila, babalik sila sa eskwelahan, pero hindi they can learn naman a lot of things kahit hindi sa eskwelahan. Marami naman sila even when they're out of school, life is already a lesson for them. So, if they're given a test, yung placement test na yun, mag-place sila sa mas mataas na level kasi kaya na nila.
But there are students who would like to, for enhancement, have the ambition, they would like to have a higher formal education. So, because of age problem, they will not be able to attain that. However, it will be accelerated. I mean, even students in the barangays, we admire them because they have that ambition, they have that dream. We should not frustrate them by just letting them go to vocational. Otherwise, we will be a nation of vocational graduates. And then with the integration, Asian integration, with the globalization, and with the cross-border professions, we make the left out. Because I think the seminar, which is quite important to the teachers. What is the program? When you go on globalization, concessional, or global, when there will be a treaty, sort of, which the Philippines, I think, will have to design, that any teacher within this within the treaty, they can go to any country and then practice their profession without taking the ones, like for instance, in law. You have that practice of law. As of now, you cannot practice like the foreigner. If a Filipino cannot go in any country and then practice. But of this integration, of this national or cross-border practice of profession, then they can practice. That is why the law school have to update and have to improve in order that we can also compete them by going to other countries. So siguro, we need teachers and that. We have to be competitive so that if there will be an influx of foreign teachers, they may be free to teach, but nobody is going to accommodate them because our teachers are sufficient enough. So this is the idea.
When it comes naman to teaching, kahit mag-cross-border, noon pa man talaga nagko-cross-border ng teacher na Pilipino. And then I am very proud of, kasi like, Ning is in New York. I also taught in Maryland before. They prize Filipino teachers because they are very patient. They are always smiling. They stay in school. Ang iba sa US, pag sara ng klase, wala na silang lahat. Kami na lang na Pilipino ang naiwan. Pagdating sa teaching, walang problema yan sa cross-border. Ang problema lang ay yung ibang profession. So yun, kailangan talaga natin para makuha sa K-12 para mag-improve yung kanilang capability. At hindi sila masapawan ng ibang nasa ibang from other countries.
Still in that direction, because it is the proficiency of the teachers, and we're going back to the OBE, the outcome-based education, because we said that the teacher has to know on how to impart knowledge, not based on this parang stereotype teaching, okay, the students may be prepared. However, our teachers also prepared on how to monitor whether they really have learned something. What is the status now of this? What will the teachers? Okay, the teacher has to monitor whether it's outcome-based education.
Actually, dyan napapasok yung admin kasi nandiyan naman ang monitoring namin. To see kung talagang ginagawa nila, tapos aanalin sila kung sino ang hindi medyo nakapuan pa. We have them trained, may mentoring, meron kaming coaching. So, lalo na yung matagal na. Lalo na't sasabihin kayo, ay, tuturuan niyo pa ako, matagal na ako dito. Doon kami nahihirapan. Pero kung kailangan gawin, ginagawa talaga namin. Kasi, mahirap yung nakasanayan na para bang na-fossilize na sila doon.